Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to the Strompcast, episode 241. Just the two-man power trip in today, just myself and Christian, tackling a very eventful week or so. International break kind of slowed some progress down, but two huge wins from the boys. I'll get to my main co-host here, Chris. Chris, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm ready for a little duo show. A couple two great results. The squad is definitely rolling. I mean, if you could have pitched like this, 6 weeks after the Super Thassa to me, like I would have been like, hell yeah, I'm cool with that. Hell yeah. Great start to the season. Great result. I mean, yesterday went even better than I could have hoped.
Even better than I picked.
I thought it could go well, but I didn't think it would go that well. I mean, it was almost perfect. I'm ready to get into it, and feeling good about the squad for sure.
Hell yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. Like, I think if you had pitched, like you said, if you had pitched this to us heading into the season, like I think most people would have taken that. It helped that, Benfica's faltered a little bit. Porto's, if we beat them, they faltered a little bit. So we got a little cushion starting to build. We got some momentum. We look good. But we'll get into the game. We'll get into Sporting versus Lille first. It was a 2-0 win. It was a decent little game, actually. I'm not too upset about that as I get to share my screen here in a second. Here we go. Let me know when that pops up for you, Chris.
Yep.
There we go. So, lineups were as follows. No Kovacevic in goal for this one. He was out just a minor injury. So we got Franco Israel in net. Center backs were Gonçalo Inácio, Ousmane Diomande, and Zeno Debast. Inácio had to come off injured, and Mateus Reich came in, put in a good shift. Fullbacks of Jenny and Giovanni Kenda. Midfield duo of Hulman and Morita, and then the typical front three of Pot, Trincão, and Jokeres. Jokeres with the goal, the opening goal late in the first half, and then Debast with a fucking banger of a goal. Like, that's the only way we can describe it.
Could argue it's one of the nicest goals scored by Sporting in the past couple of years, maybe.
Oh, in a while. That is out there. That's a friggin' strike. I'll start with you, Chris. What did you think? What did you make of the game? What stood out? Who stood out for you in this one?
Well, first off, I feel like it needs to be acknowledged that, it's not as drastic as Edwards. Like, we know how we always kind of joked about Edwards, like in the Champions League, he's going to ball if given the opportunity because he knows, like, all the scouts are watching.
All the big boys are watching.
I feel like Jokeres, we could say the same. I just knew he was going to score today because there's just no way he wasn't. Every scout that had sniffed around him or whatever, I'm sure was watching this. So of course he, drops a casual little 8.7, something light for him. Only one goal, average game, I guess.
Average bad Jokeres game. Only scored once.
Yeah, it was a great goal, great turn and finish.
Yeah.
I honestly was a little bit struck by how, I don't know if poor is the right word. But they were certainly poor. But it just
I expected this to be a much more.
I felt like Lille didn't even show up. I don't know what the plan was, just to sit back and take a draw. Disgusting tactics, to be honest.
Oh, absolutely unforgivable.
They grew a little bit in the second half, which a little bit was natural, obviously, because we took a lead and then a 2-goal lead. So like, naturally, a little pressure is going to come the other way as a result of that. But like, bro, they were
a man down.
They were
too, right?
And true. There was only go a man down. They did go a man down. And to be honest, I thought they probably played better with a man down than with 11 because with 11 they literally didn't even reach the goal. They had one almost completed through ball. That was like basically the highlight of their first half.
Yeah.
Angel Gomes. Thank you, I guess. Appreciate it.
Boys.
Appreciate it. He didn't even protest. He just walked off.
He knew. It was a silly like that challenge in a nutshell, like
just pointless.
Pointless challenge. It's a yellow card. It's at least a foul every time.
Yeah.
Yellow card most times. He's already on a yellow, so he's been warned.
I've been there before, where you're like lunging in for a tackle, like you're on a yellow, you forget you're lunging in, like as you're sticking your leg out, you're like, I'm on a yellow, fuck.
All on this one.
Let's hope I either get the ball or the ref is chill.
Or I miss the guy completely. Nothing happens. Yeah, that was a very foolish challenge. He knew right away what he had done. And like you said, no protest. It was pretty much just like, all right, we'll see you. Bye. Yeah, they didn't. I'd agree with you. I was expecting a lot more from Lille this game.
I definitely thought that, like, if we didn't walk out of that first half with at least one goal, like, we ran the risk of definitely regretting that later on.
Yes.
So we got the goal. I think it was like 36 minutes, something like that. So
it was later. It was
kind
later
of like the ideal time to score. I mean, it could have been 2 or 3, probably, right? Got the one that was important. And then, Debast puts us up 2-0. And I mean, even when it was one, like, that was probably what, like 65th the Debast goal, maybe.
Yeah, it was a bit midway-ish point of the second half. Yeah.
Yeah, and like even before the Debast goal, when it was still 1-0, after when it was 2-0, certainly. It was one of those games where I was not like watching on the edge of my seat because I'm like, I was chill.
Yeah.
I really thought we had it handled, and it felt like 3 points basically from start to finish, and it was perfect start to the Champions League campaign.
Yeah.
And these boys better get their shit together. They're gonna get absolutely rocked in every game.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, I know me included, knowing and just being someone who's followed a lot of the guys on the Lille team, very surprised at how poor they played. Like you said, they did not register a single shot the whole first half.
Next game, Real Madrid.
I don't know. Did they register any shots this game? Like, I don't think
they had like 2. I literally don't think they
had to have been near the end. Yeah, I don't. That's how little I remember of them doing anything on the attack. I agree with you. I think Sporting needed to get the goal heading into halftime. Otherwise, it might have bit them in the ass. I think getting the goal and then like 2-3 minutes later, immediate red card to Angel Gomes really kind of felt like it was fait accompli at that point. It was kind of done. It's probably the most comfortable I felt with a 1-goal lead.
Yeah, I mean, I've been this confident watching Portuguese league games in the last like year or two. Like, honestly,
but
before like 2 years ago,
games,
it honestly almost never happened. Before like the mid Amorim era, and before Amorim happened, like never.
Very seldom, yeah.
Or it's like you're gonna do it at your own risk. Like, yeah, you can be chill, but like something terrible is gonna happen.
It can happen at any given point.
So you might as well just be ready for it.
Yep.
Yeah, it felt like we were playing Arouca at home, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, I was very much like they controlled the whole game, especially the second half. Like Jenny had a really good chance, pulls it just a little wide. Conrad Harder, even at the end, like he hits the crossbar or whatever too. Like he has a great chance. There's a really good chance from Kenda on like a half volley, kind of on like a bit of a rebound that he pulls it just wide.
Yeah.
Like they could have had like this. The scoreline's flattering for Lille. They were lucky that it wasn't that 2-0 was all it was. Standouts for this game for me, obviously Jokeres. Like I'm not gonna spend too much time on him because like he's just kind of the man, the myth, the legend at this point. I thought Trincão and Poch both looked really good. Hillman looked pretty good. Marito was a little bit below average for me this game, but he didn't like do anything outrageously bad. He just wasn't at his best. I do think he does a good job on the Jokeres goal to kind of get in the way of the defender a bit and kind of put him off, which allows Jokeres to create a bit more space and turn and shoot, which is a great goal from Jokeres. Jenny and Kenda both looked phenomenal in their Champions League debuts. Shout out to Mateus Reich as well for coming in on that short notice and being one of the better center backs of the game. And obviously that was Debast's probably best game in a sporting shirt. In the limited time we've been able to see him in a sporting shirt.
I mean, not even close, right? He's actually been like kind of poor, honestly.
He was kind of duty up until this game. Not even like outrageously bad, just like, oh, you're making some silly mistakes.
Yeah, I mean, we expect him to be like a undisputed starter top performer, you know?
Yeah.
So like
this was one of those games where
high
outside of one or two passes, outside of one or two kind of errant passes this game, he didn't put a foot wrong for me. I was happy with everybody. I thought we got a little Max Arouca cameo as well.
Yeah.
Didn't really have much time to show for it. The game was pretty much done at that point, but nice to see him at least get a little trot out.
Same with the Arouca game. Like I could see flashes, right? You know, like
you can see a little bit of it.
And obviously I'm pretty familiar with him. You know, being a North American, right?
We've watched it.
He's been playing locally for a while. So yeah, I've seen him play a lot of times. So I'm honestly pretty familiar with him, and I was pretty excited before this, but yeah, it was cool to actually see him.
Yeah, I've been able to watch a bit of him in the Mexican League like prior to him joining Sport thing. So when I saw he was linked, I was a bit familiar with him already. Not maybe as much as you, but I was like, this guy's a player from what I can see. And like there's some potential there, and they got a good deal for him. So nice to see him get a trot out there. Man of the match for me, I'll give it to Jokeres as per usual. Any other thoughts on this game, Chris, before we wrap up?
No, not really. Yeah. I mean, I guess it'll probably honestly take until like match week 3 for us to even like look at the table. Like there's nothing to see right now.
It's the first week. There's
even the first 2 match weeks. It'll probably take 3 for it to really start to take shape. You know.
Yeah, they play PSV next week, I believe.
Who lost to a good team? It was on the TV.
I expect that to be a good game.
I think they lost to Juventus, right?
Yes, they lost 3-1 to Juventus. Yeah. I expect that to be a good game because both teams play very attack-minded football. PSV is doing very well in the Dutch league right now. That's a team very much at our level. So
they've been rolling for like 3 seasons.
Yeah.
Now.
So I expect that to be a much harder game, at least on paper.
On the road, I'm guessing.
Yes, that is actually I can check for you. I believe that is an away game, but I can probably find out for you in a second as I'm searching.
I think that it is.
I think that's our first away game. Yeah,
October
that's an away
1st.
game. October 1st, that's away game. And then we have, I think, another one against Sturm. And then we go into the English boys game. So not a bad start necessarily. Yeah, 2 away games and the 2 English boys at home. So if they can come out with
7 at the minimum, maybe 9.
5 to 7. I think they should beat Sturm. So I think if they can come out with 7, if they come out with 9. I mean, they probably only need like a draw or another win out of their last.
Yeah, how many points gets you?
The general consensus is 10 should pretty, unless it's like a crazy table.
Yeah,
should keep you pretty safe. And I think my prediction for them was they'd probably finish.
Okay, so if we beat PSV, I mean we're basically halfway there, kind of. You know.
Yeah, I think the games that they should win will be Sturm Graz for sure, and I think the Bologna game is the 2 that will give them. Those are the must wins. I think if you get those points, anything after that's bonus. I think they should come out of these first couple fixtures with the full 7 points. If they come out with full 9, like beauty. If you're able to nick points off of one of the English boys, even I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but if you're lucky and you get that, like. You could already pretty much have qualification sealed up, and now you're just playing for potentially avoiding the playoff. So we'll see what happens, but good, very good. What is not
in the playoff? Top 12 left.
So top 8. We'll go through it. So top 8 they basically get like a bye.
Yeah.
Kind of like how Europa League, if anybody's familiar, in the last like year.
Yeah.
So top 8 get a bye, and then places 9 to like 24 will play like a preliminary 2-legged round of 16.
Got it. I mean, top 8 is definitely a big ask.
But I think they can get that first round of 16.
If they have 9 points after 3 games, though, I mean, they're in the conversation for
Oh,
sure.
I mean, it also depends on what other teams are doing, right? Like a lot of this depends. You are a little dependent on some other results to maybe be a bit favorable for that to happen. But
Man City just drew a game
they
they
drew today.
probably should have won. Yeah, it was just on. I think it was 0-0 final score.
They got that League One relegation on their mind. That's why. They got that relegation.
Yeah, 0-0. Yeah, it was just.
That's crazy. Wow, washed club. Love to see it. But yeah, they should. I think in theory win and draw the next two games, and then if you go into the games with the English boys, both at home, by the way, with 7 to 9 points, I think that's a very good place to be for Sporting. Wrapping up this game, we will switch gears to our lovely little domestic league here in Portugal. We won 3-0 against Arouca on Friday. I only got to watch like the second half of this game, so I'm going to lean on you for the first half for it. So I'll let you take away once we get the screen share going here, Chris. What did you kind of make of this game and thoughts? I'll read out the lineup. So Franco Israel started this game as well. Obviously, Kovacevic out with a little bit of a knock. Mateus Reis, Gonçalo Inácio, and Zino Debast were the center backs. So, and then we had Nuno Santos and Giovanni Kenda as the fullbacks, Hillman, Bragança as the midfielders, Trincão, Jokeres, and Pot as the front three. So very few changes from this game over to the Champions League game. The only changes he really made was Bragança out for Morita and Nuno Santos out for Gianni as the starters. Really, that was it. So take it away.
So I don't know if anyone got to see the Santa Clara Benfica game, or at least the highlights, like the first Santa Clara goal, like in the first 30 seconds.
That was crazy. We were on top of the world for 30 seconds.
They basically had the same play in right off the kickoff, just like Santa Clara did, except the ball was a little bit worse. And Mateus Reis didn't eat shit like Otamendi did.
Yeah,
like,
he actually
completely left the guy open.
Yeah.
So Mateus Reis did kind of get beat, and it looked like he wasn't like fully ready. It was the perfect pass, combination of both. And Jason got on the end of it and possibly had Arouca's best chance of the game within 30 seconds. So in this game, I actually think that Israel had to make like 3 saves, maybe, including that one. And I don't think he had 3 saves against Lille. So I actually think
we don't think Lille had 30.
I don't know how they had 0.5 XG, bro. Like that's bullshit, dude.
They had 0.5 XG and they had less shots than Arouca this game. That's crazy.
I honestly
goal point. You need to fix that quick.
I don't believe that, but it's all good. I'll let it slide because I love goal point.
Goal point is gospel in this part, so yeah.
So yeah, I mean, maybe if that's a perfect shot or something. It's a tough angle, right? It has a perfect shot. It goes up 1-0. It's different, but it doesn't. Israel gets a piece of it, and it was basically one-way traffic after that. Again, it felt like a goal was coming. This one came sooner. I think this one came in like the 20th minute. We broke the deadlock. Very simple finish from Pot to Trincão. Again, it felt like it was coming. We get it was simple in the fact that like he just had to stand there, and simple because Trincão made it look easy, just like an effortless like little like lofted like instep pass cross. And I was like, okay, here we go. We're gonna start laying the boom on these boys. And we struggled to find the second. I wouldn't say that like Arouca really got a foothold into the game until after the second goal. So like the rest of the first half and like the beginning of the second half, I would still say that we were dominating and had the better chances, created the better chances in that time. I mean, obviously we can get into the pen.
I was going to ask what you made.
Basically, get gifted a pen.
It was soft for me.
Basically, get gifted a pen, go up 2-0. There's 20 minutes left, and that was pretty much it. Trincão has a really nice dribble, and then scores like maybe 5 minutes max after that. 2 and 3. I mean, once it's 3 in the 75th minute, like it's really over at that point. It was probably over before that, but like now it's like for sure over. It felt like that 2-3 could have come at any time. I was a bit disappointed that it came via
the penalty.
the penalty.
I thought the Nuno Santos
Especially
disallowed
after.
goal
Yes, I was gonna just mention that.
would have
Like,
been better to hold up than give the penalty first.
that was pretty funny own goal.
Yeah.
He like flicked it as he's like running away from the goal, and it like just like
Yeah.
trickled into the near post. It was
It's
so
just kind of just limped its way across the line.
So yeah, that would have definitely been unfortunate if that was
The
stood up.
2-0 goal, but
You know,
yeah,
he had that on his stats for the season. But he's fortunate, bro. I mean, the freeze frame looking across the line, I honestly thought it was closer than 18 centimeters.
mm-hmm.
And
It's close.
18 feels like a lot, to be honest, based on what it looked like to the naked eye. Whatever. There's no point in getting into the details, right? They don't have the perfect angle. It's the same story.
No, unless you're gonna have an angle that goes.
It's the same fucking story.
Yeah,
time. There's no.
We do this every couple weeks.
Whatever. 18 centimeters. It's unfortunate. It will probably cost us at a more critical moment than that, but it will happen again.
For sure, you can bet on that.
And then, so I actually saw a stat at the end of last week before the game, like maybe Thursday or Friday.
Okay.
That Sporting's record with João Pinheiro, in the last 18 games that he's refed, I think Sporting only has 10 or 11 wins before yesterday. So I guess, or before this one. So
we're like just barely at 50%.
Yeah, and like other refs, it was much higher percentages.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, we actually like Pinheiro actually does a good job, like slowing us down. So he disallowed that goal. He's looking at the pen. He's looking at the pen for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, they took a while.
There's no way he's gonna. What is he even looking at? There's no way he's gonna call this, right? I know that he's not fond of like making, I guess, close decisions in our favor, right?
Yeah.
He's just disallowed an offsides goal moments before. Like, he's just gonna say, "Play on. Let's just get on with it."
Yeah.
So I was literally stunned when he came back and pointed to the spot. And I have a conspiracy theory.
I just didn't think it was
about it.
Personally.
The conspiracy theory is that I guess it wasn't the week before because there was the international break. So the last match week was the match week that had the Benfica dive, right?
Oh yeah.
I think that they wanted to add more ambiguity to that situation by giving us a garbage.
Giving like another soft call to make it look like that one wasn't a soft call.
Or it's just like, oh, everybody's getting soft calls.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing though, we were winning this game regardless.
I don't think they needed
I know that for a fucking fact. We were not going to drop points in this game. If they did not give us a free pen, we were still going to win the game 3-0. Benfica, on the other hand, we're not going to win that game. The game was basically over. Yeah. It was the last kick of the game, and they manufactured a pen out of thin air to give them a point, right?
Yeah.
So it's not the same. It's clearly more critical for them. But it's like, it adds ambiguity.
It was just unnecessary.
Do you remember like the Paulinho offsides last season?
Oh yeah, that
was talked about for the remainder of the season. Like that
until
happened in like
April. Yeah,
that happened in like match week 3, and like it was
early.
So like it's I think it was awarded literally for like that reason. Like, I'd love to hear like the 10-minute audio of that VAR, because like, what in God's name are you even saying?
What are you what are you looking for at this point?
I literally don't even see the ball hitting his hand.
No,
it doesn't even look like it hits his arm. It literally just looked like it hits his leg. it's
like unless they've got some kind of magic camera angle that we're not privy to.
It's insane. It's
like
insane.
when you go in on FIFA and you try to replay something crazy, so you have to go in manually with your controller and like rotate at a certain degree and zoom in at this axis. Like unless they got the EAFC FIFA whatever camera that you could just toggle and free roam. Like I don't know that they got the angle.
Absolutely ridiculous. I can't believe it, dude.
Yeah. I just think it was a dumb call. I don't think it was necessary. I felt it was soft. Like fair, you want to call it? Like I guess go nuts in our favor. Just like I would rather just not make that call.
And like in general, right? The big three do get the benefit of the doubt from the referee in situations.
Oh yeah, like
certainly
it's
more
not exclusive to one club. Yeah. All of us get, all the bigger teams get that.
Right, like Fenence ain't getting that call.
Nacional's not
at
getting
1
that
p.m.
call,
away at Nacional, right? Like that's not happening.
Yeah.
But that being said, like it's still like not normal.
It's a silly call. Let's call it. It's a silly.
It's surprising too. I mean, with that record with Pinheiro as well. I mean, I can't believe it. But here's the difference, right? We're willing to say this. I watched the game with my grandfather, right? And he's up in arms. This man still can't even admit that the pen that we're talking about is nonsense.
Yeah,
I have no problem saying Sporting got a nonsensical pen, bro. Sporting got a pen that was manufactured.
There's certain man out there would not admit
I have no
this.
shame in saying that. I don't know. Like, why can't we all just be honest here?
Well, they just call a bullshit call when you see it. Like, play the game fair.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm glad that we got the third goal after that, right? Trincão, probably the nicest of the bunch.
Yeah.
We're deserved winners. It feels a little icky the way that it went down, but I know that we deserve to win this game. We did win this game. It's at this point, it's in the rearview mirror. I guess it was this, like on to the next, and we got the dub. So
and then it was
just keep it rolling.
Yeah. No, I was happy with the performance overall. I thought everyone looked good. Trincão was my man of the match for this one. Personally, had the goal and the assist.
Yeah, he was everywhere.
He was all over the place. This is one of his best games in a sporting shirt, I would say. And he's had a lot of, and we've been saying
all his best games in a sporting shirt have been in the last like 6 months.
Yeah, I think the last 6 to 8 months have been all of his best games.
Like the tail end, like the last 2-3 months of last season and like this season.
Yeah, he's been playing very well. So happy to see him get on the score sheet. Never upset. None of the subs really made much of an impact for me. Like our subs were Diamante, Jenny, Morita. Arouca got a bit of a walkout, and then Edwards came in literal garbage time.
Edwards is a forgotten man, bro.
Edward, man, like I forgot he even existed.
What is his usage rate, man? Like bro's got like 100 minutes on the season.
Yeah, he can't have more than like a full 90 cumulatively. I'm pretty sure he can't have much more than that. Maybe he's busy hanging out with
Not great.
Maybe he's busy he's too busy hanging out with little Mammy Barbs or whatever.
It might be time to start looking into that Cypriot citizenship.
That boy is a Cypriot. He's not English. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with him. He's just kind of disappeared a bit.
He was never one of Amonim's favorites, and I mean, bro, he's kind of gotten buried on the depth chart, if we're being honest.
Well, he's gotten buried because other guys have just leapt ahead of him by sheer power of will, and he's just the time that he's cut the little time that he is getting, he's just not doing much.
Yeah, that's
like when they've given him some time, he's just not really impressed a whole heck of a lot, save for a couple flashes. So I just feel like that's a guy you're happy to just have. It's a guy you're just happy to have on the bench as an option for some energy if you need it. But the way Trincão and Pot they're playing, the fact that Nuno Sanchez is healthy, the fact that you may move Kenda back up front for a winger potentially instead of wing back. Katamo can also play forward. Like there's just other guys ahead of him right now.
There's Arouca.
Arouca's there as well. Like it's just kind of he's fallen by the wayside. Partly
he's not
because
getting in front of Pod. He's not getting in front of Trincão. I mean, he's just
like he's at the very.
He wasn't getting in front of any of those guys last season, and now
he's at the very least
more.
He's at the very least like at the
not going to play that wing back position because he can't defend.
No, he can't defend if his life depended on him.
And so that only leaves the winger position, and he's just like
he's at least number 3 on the depth
option,
chart. Yeah, he's 3, maybe 4 now, I would say. So yeah, he just kind of falls by the wayside. Not much to add to this game. I thought they played well. They dominated. Like you said, even without the penalty, I think they would have won by 2 or 3. Regardless, it sucks at that penalty. I did feel kind of icky seeing it. I was like, I don't know about that call. It seemed soft to me, but we've seen them make soft calls many a time before in many other games, so it is what it is.
Dude, I was getting pissed because I was like, bro, this is like when the lights went out in the Super Bowl and then like the momentum completely swung.
It just
it's like,
kills the game.
What you're just delaying the game for 10 minutes to what? To give Arouca a breather, and then we're
like,
gonna
and that's it just kills the momentum of the game, kind of, right? Because there was still a bit of a game, like a flow going on, but that stunk. Nothing really to add to this game. It's a 3-0 win away to Arouca, lads. Like, there's not much to really base this off of. Your man of the match, I'm assuming, might be Trincão as well. I know that's mine. Yeah. I think that's a fair assumption to have. I was pissed about this game. You're gonna see why in a second as I get ready to share my screen. I was happy with this game, but I was upset, and people will see why in the predictions table as it's about to come up. So I'm going to scroll down to the Arouca game, and I want you to look at my prediction, Chris, how close I was to the edge of glory. I had all the goal scorers.
You went a little extra on the Gyökeres.
I needed one more Gyökeres goal, and I would have had a monster week. I would have had the point from Gyökeres and then the 2 bonus points for the score line.
We all botched this week. We're all in international break mode.
So. Everybody was on international break mode, so I was able to capitalize on everybody. Got 4, so that built me up a lead. And then we moved to the Lille game, our first one in the Champions League. You and Danny dropped the ball in the Lille game as well. I picked a 2-2 draw. I did get a point for the goal scorer, for one of the goal scorers for Gyökeres. Sam got 2 points. He had a Gyökeres goal. Crazy, I know. And he did have us winning, so he got 2. So that did shuffle the points a little bit. So I am in third. Well, actually, we'll work our way up. Chris sitting at 8 points in fourth. They're only 2 behind Sam, though, so lots in it. Sam sitting in third place at 10. Danny just the 1 point ahead of him at 11. And the reigning champion up by 6 early on, starting to mount a bit of a lead here. Our next games are against Ovs this week, so I'll let you, if you want to make a prediction now, Chris. Sure. What are you feeling? I can put it down for you.
I'm going 2-0.
2-0, all right. Against the
Ovs is actually pretty.
They got Ochoa, so we're probably gonna get goalied a little bit.
They have Ochoa, and what do they have? Like 7 points? I mean, it's not going that bad for them.
Yeah, they're playing all right, which you hate to see, but I expect us to get goalied a bit this game by Ochoa.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see us play Ochoa. That's kind of crazy. Yeah, I'm gonna go 2-0. Gyökeres, Trincão, the inform lads.
Trincão.
Could argue that Pot's informed too, honestly.
You can make an argument for either one. I'm gonna be very boring. I was gonna do the same thing. I might change that to 3 and maybe a ×2 for one of the boys. But yeah, I think a 2-0 is probably fair because Ovs just looked all right. I think they've got a good goalie that will frustrate us in this game, for sure. And then we also might as well make our predictions for PSV this week as well, coming up. I am going to be optimistic, and I'm going to say 2-1 against PSV, and I'm going to predict a Gyökeres goal, and I think a Hjulman goal. I'm going to go a little bit off the board. Hjulman, I think he's due for a little goal. Maybe not a banger, but I think he's due for a goal. What are you thinking for PSV, Chris?
1-1.
Ooh, okay.
It's not a bad point though on the road.
No, that's a top away day. I take a 1-1 away.
Could end up being like in the top 4 hardest teams we play. Like of the 8 or of the 7, right?
Yeah.
No, 8, right? Because we are going to play 8 games.
Yeah, we play 8. So this will be.
So yeah, I could see them being in the top 4 that we play.
Yeah.
And then for the goal, I'm gonna go Hjulman because he's another one. Like I feel like he's low key built for European nights.
Yeah.
Some of these lads, like I mean, obviously we all know that Gyökeres is not going to be on the squad for like 4 more years doing this, right?
Yeah. Oh God, no.
Human, probably not either. He seems too good. And I know he has the banger in him, so yeah.
Yeah, I think Hillman is probably
I mean, I
the
just like
fancy pick here.
he came in and became the captain
In
as
a
a
year.
foreigner in a team in like its best run of form in like, fucking 50 years, right?
Fucking forever. Like literally since the
Like since like
60s,
the
probably,
80s,
yeah.
bro. I don't even know, right? So
Oh,
I
yeah, even
mean,
further, I would say,
like
but
the
yeah,
fact that that was even done is an accomplishment in itself,
nuts. Yeah, no, I think that's fair. That's our predictions, Danny and Chris, or Danny and Sam rather. We put the onus on you to not screw up this week because now Chris and I can I can build a lead and Chris can leapfrog both of your asses very quickly if you're not smart about it. Chris, you want to get into international break real quick? We'll touch very quickly on this. Won't even pull up the goal point. Portugal with two wins in the Nations League, so that puts them top of their group. Last minute winner against Croatia, and then also a late goal against Scotland.
Scotland, I mean, bro. I mean, are they just gonna get sick of losing every game in the 90th minute? At a certain point, bro, I'd be broken at a certain point. I mean,
gotta
that's
wonder, like
every game they lose in the
McTominay gives
last
them the
minute.
lead like 7 or 8 minutes lead, 7 or 8 minutes in. Bruno ties it early in the second half, and then Ronaldo scores like with 2 minutes left before stoppage time even starts. Like brutal from Scotland. And then the Croatia game was kind of a bit of a revert. Like we get a nice goal early from Dalot, and then Ronaldo gives them a 2-0 lead in 34th. Actually played well, and then Dalot with kind of a comical own goal before halftime. And then nothing really happens
And
for the
then
rest of the game.
and then Croatia kind of grew into the game after that and pushed a little bit, I would say.
Yeah. Well, note that the Sporting boys didn't really get much run in those games.
Inacio, I think
Inacio,
teased his injury that he would get yesterday at the national team when he was also injured.
Mm-hmm.
And then only like a week passed and he probably didn't fully recover. And then he tried to force it to play ahead of schedule yesterday and
And just
re-aggravated
shouldn't have.
it.
Yeah.
So
Not ideal.
I'm guessing that's probably what happened, but I'm obviously not positive.
I wouldn't call that far-fetched at all.
And then our other boys, Trinco, Kenda, Pot. The only one who got any minutes
burn
was Pot, who came in the
garbage
89th
time.
minute of the first game. Yeah.
Yeah. No, as sexy as this, as fun as this call as the.
I mean, bro, here's the thing. Kenda skipped the line, low key. He skipped the line to get a call up. I mean,
Kenda came in with his Disneyland fast.
Thinking he was getting a cap as well was probably pushing it.
Yeah. He came out with like his Disneyland fast pass to skip all the lines of the rides, and then they got told, "No, you got to go back. You're not tall enough. You're not tall enough for this ride."
He's had some practices, still looking for that first cap.
Still a good experience. I don't think it hurts
for 17-year-old for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I was crazy because like they like asking like Ronaldo about it, and like he was like saying the advice that he gave him. But Ronaldo is older than him than the amount of years that Kenda has like lived on Earth.
Yeah,
which is like
crazy.
Bro, your dad is your fucking teammate, dude.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Not wrong. I wonder what advice he gave Kenda. Maybe burn all the bridges on their way in. Everyone. That's what I wonder
about.
Get
the fucking bag, bro.
Get the bag. Burn your bridges. Be good. I don't know. As fun as like the call up was, he really did the coach really didn't change much from his tactics or lineup changes. It was kind of just more of the same, which was a little disappointing because I think everyone held it a little bit of hope that he's got a lot of different names on here. We might see some stuff, and then he just went with the exact same lineup.
Ronaldo, I actually thought definitely played better than he did in any of the Euro games.
Oh God, he played so much better.
So he did enough to stall the conversation.
That's the annoying part is we just keep kicking the can down the road because then he'll score a goal and then we'll be like, oh, he's fine.
And not only did he score 3 goals, he played not bad.
He didn't play bad. He did not play bad.
I thought both games including just the 45-minute cameo in the one,
was better than
any of the minutes played at the Euro in any of the games.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that. He was
he successfully
kicked
the fucking can for another 6 months with that.
Yeah, so we'll wait till the next call up, which is in like less than a month.
It's in not a long time.
Which is so weird. Why do you not just do one longer one of like 3 games in October instead of doing one right in September? That I never understood that.
So mid-October, like
Canadian Thanksgiving. Canadian Thanksgiving, if I'm not mistaken.
Maybe even less than a month from now, would they do it again? You know,
I can tell you in 2 seconds.
It's I have it here, the 12th against Poland.
Yeah, so literally Canadian Thanksgiving weekend is the next international breaks. They have a match against Poland, and then a match away. They're both away. One to Poland and one to Scotland, and then there's another one in November. They need to what they need to do.
Here's the problem. If you recall, like the Nations League was introduced to make international friendlies like obsolete, right? Because they are stale, they're pointless, right? No one wants to try.
At least this has an end goal.
But now we're interrupting the league for something that means something.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you've added too many games now. And the Nations League group used to be groups of 3. Now it's groups of 4.
Yeah.
Too many games.
There's also the fact that now the top 2 go in, and it's a quarterfinal instead of a final to the final 4.
It was like 4. If you won the tournament, it was like 4 games. Now it's like 8.
You'd have to play like 2 group games. You play your group teams twice.
2 group games and then the final 4.
So you play the 2 teams of groups twice. So you play 4 games. You play the final 4 you play 6 games. 6 games tops.
If you win, the whole.
If you win, now you have to play 2, 4, 6. I think the quarterfinal is 2 legs, so that's 5, 2, 4, 6. Then you have to add the quarterfinal, so that's 7, 8. And then now you have to play like a World Cup amount of games of like 8, 9, 10 games.
The friendly tournament that still no one actually cares about.
Like it's the top.
We care about it more than international friendlies. But when people are flexing Ronaldo's achievements, 2019 Nations League trophy,
Nations League it's nice, but we don't care about it that.
Do you consider Ronaldo to have won 2 international trophies?
I would count that as 2, but it's not the 2. It's like one of them isn't the one.
Do you count Messi's finalissima?
I don't count I don't know that I count finalissima because it's
that. It's actually that might be the fakest thing.
Lionel Messi has 2 Copa Americas, a World Cup, an Olympic gold medal, and an under 20 World Cup. He's completed football. Let's get that out of the way.
Finalissima.
And he's got a finalissimo to boot. He might have a second one.
Probably a couple UEFA Super Cups as well.
Everybody loves the UEFA Super Cup.
I had to guess.
Super tosses mean something unless it's finalissimo. But I count the Nations League as a trophy the same way I would count like the Confederations Cup as like a trophy. But it's one that it's really nice to win. But it's not like if you lose it, you're like, oh, that was the worst day ever.
Yeah.
Bring back I would have preferred the Confederations Cup over the Nations League personally. That's just me though. I missed that tournament. That U.S. team in 2009 was fun.
Yeah, the one that went to the semi again and lost to Brazil, or the final.
No, they lost in the final to Brazil.
It was the final. Yeah. They could have won that game.
They blew a 2-0 lead at halftime.
Yeah, they could have won that game.
Everyone remembers that Brazil team that made us think they were the best in the world because they thrashed Spain in 2013. Everyone's like, Neymar is gonna surpass everybody, and then he just didn't because he's Neymar and he's garbage.
Yeah.
That wraps up international talk. We'll move on really quickly to modalidade and kind of the newsworthy stuff. So, Chris, I'll let you take it away with the modalities updates.
So our modalities updates, I guess, from the last 2 weeks because we didn't pod last week because of the international break. Mm-hmm. So I don't even know if I think the ladies must have played their. Actually, I don't even know if the ladies have played their qualifying rounds 1 and 2 of the Champions League.
They played one. So I can confirm they played one. They won comfortably. They played Real Madrid. I think.
Yeah, I'm saying I don't even know if the second preliminary game had even happened yet.
No, it is tomorrow.
Well, yeah, I'm saying so now they're playing Real Madrid in 2 legs. Winner of the tie goes to the Champions League group stage.
Yes. tough draw.
So they've won 2 preliminary one-legged games to get to this point, and now they're playing Real Madrid. First leg tomorrow at Alcochete.
Yes.
So let's see how we stack up to the best, right?
This is one of the big. I was gonna say the big boys. This is one of the big girls, right? This is one of the big teams. Yeah, well, we'll get it right. We're all about inclusivity in these parts.
We'll see how it goes. But it is certainly cool to have at least made it to this point, which is impressive.
Yeah, and they've been flying domestically as well. Worth noting, they've looked really good domestic in the league, and obviously they won the Supertaça, so could be a nice little bounce back season after some kind of heartbreaking seasons. The last couple, finishing with no silverware, and getting really close to some silverware. Like last season, they almost won the league on the last day. So it'd be nice if they can. If they pull an upset off against Real Madrid, like hell yeah, like let's go. I jokingly said in one of our Spartan group chats they're gonna win the Champions League at Alvalade next year because the finals in Alvalade.
That'd be sick.
Which would be sick. So I put that in screenshot in case I'm right. I've knocked on wood multiple times, so we'll be if we come back and that happens.
Not a great history of European finals played at Alvalade, but
no.
I mean, you got to snap the streak eventually of one, right?
You got to snap all that losing that all in one. But yeah, if that happens, I'm gonna come back here and be like, I'm the smartest guy in the world. I'm
Home
so
field
smart.
advantage.
Home field. Who knows? Any other modalidad stuff we got to? I know handball's been doing well.
So I think handball might have played their first game during the last pod. Since then, they have won 3 games to open the Portuguese league, and they got a big European win in their first UEFA or not UEFA European EHFEL European League group stage round game 1. So 4-0 all comps to start the season.
Good start.
Trying
B-team's
to
been playing.
B-team is been playing. They won their game this weekend 2-1.
Yeah.
The B-team I think is in second place to open the campaign. Top 4 is what we need
to go to the promotion playoffs.
To go to the promotion playoffs. Yep, top 4 of 10 in second. Beat the third place team this weekend. So yeah, good start for the B team. I've seen them start horribly, and it's then usually like a recovery. It's usually start horribly, recover, chase the playoff, and just miss.
Yeah, just miss out by
that's
like 1
been the
point.
formula. So getting a good start, we'll see how.
Yeah.
We'll see how that goes. See if that benefits us.
Yeah. They changed the Krabby Patty secret formula, it looks like, and they've made some adjustments.
The ladies have won both their league games. I think you mentioned that, you alluded to it.
Playing very well.
That's pretty much it that I can think of. At least the main modalities that I follow, at least.
Yeah, not a super crazy week. I guess we can touch a little bit before we wrap up on we broke profit. We made money this quarter or this year. We had 12 million profit.
Yeah.
Nice. Obviously aided by the fact that they've won the league in that time. They made not like
this is without the Champions League money too, which is not even going to go into this.
That'll be for this last quarter, September to December, which we'll probably hear about, I assume, in January, February. We'll get the finances for that.
The player sales
wasn't like a ton of big ones though, really, when you break it down this past summer.
It helps to get like 17 for a player like Fatawu, right? Who's just
that was
you're not even thinking about him, right? Like he almost doesn't exist, right? So that's like
they got
4 years ago, that would have been our records.
They also got like money off the books for some guys. They made a couple like minor sales. They got some money from from sell-on clauses, like a few million from that. So like that's kind of what really helped that. And just the fact that, again, they continue to make record sales, they put it. We don't usually get a number. I don't think they have a reason to lie about that. It's just like I'd like to know what the number is to substantiate a bit.
Yeah.
But they've been doing well on the merchandise front.
Yeah.
So it was to be expected that they made some money. And obviously with Champions League this this final quarter of the year. It'll be interesting to see when we hear about the September to December financials, what that number could look like. Because they already get like, what is it, 20, 30 million just for being in the Champions League?
Yeah, it's like 20. It's like 30 million basically right now.
Yeah, 30 million as a base. I think it's 2 or 3 million for a win,
and
like $1 million, $1.5 million for a draw. So they've already made like 2 point something million just off that Lille game alone. Just for the fact that they won. Let's not even include the fact that it's just extra games, so extra ticket revenue, extra chance to like hawk some merchandise at people. So it'll be interesting, especially if they can make a bit of a run and they can actually get to play Champions League knockouts. Yeah, it'll be exciting. I think that's everything. We will put a quick thing out. We shout out to everybody affected by the wildfires in Portugal. Literally been nonstop on my TV the last like 2 days.
Yeah.
Crazy. I know Aveiro, like
people are sadly now dying today. There's some firefighter deaths.
Yeah, it really
maybe
sucks.
A civilian death.
Yeah.
I don't know if I saw that right.
Thoughts go out to everybody affected. If you have family over there, like I know Danny and I both being from our family's from Aveiro. I know Aveiro's starting to get hit pretty hard. They actually had to evacuate by the Beira-Mar Stadium because they were worried that it was going to come and burn down the stadium, which I was like, that place is a piece of shit anyways, let it burn. But thankfully no one was hurt from what I saw there. But yeah, I know that firefighters and stuff are having a hell of a time with it. So if we can find a place like a good, like, reputable place for donations, we will put a donation probably ourselves, and we'll put that out for you guys to donate, the viewers, listeners. But yeah, thoughts to all those affected. If you have family over there, make sure you're in touch with them because it's scary, crazy times, understandably, in Portugal. But with that being said,
one last thing that I wanted to mention because I just remembered it, and I wanted to see if A, you've noticed, and B, if you have a comment on it.
Okay.
Have you noticed that every 36 hours Fabrizio Romano tweets about Victor Gyökeres?
Yeah, noticed that. I have noticed that.
What the fuck is up with that?
He's been on the Victor Gyökeres train for a while.
At this point, it is not normal.
No, I think too, because Fabrizio, a journalist, yes, but also he creates content.
Yeah,
he is also a content creator, and he knows which names are going to get him the clicks. And right now, Gyökeres is a hot one because
I'm worried. I mean, January is going to be tough, right?
Yeah.
Especially with the propaganda machine in overdrive, right? Everyone in fucking Europe knows we have the best striker, so I don't know how we're going to keep him.
Yeah, Fabrizio is a content creator first and foremost. As much as he's a journalist, he's equal parts just content machine.
Yeah.
And he's just going to get whatever gets the most clicks and most engagement.
I mean, well, it's crazy that's what's getting clicks because, I mean, he's a Sporting player, bro.
But you know what? Under the radar.
Is he like the most touted? Like, I mean, we've had obviously like amazing players. Not to play for the club, but when Bruno was here, like people would flex his like G's and A's combined, right? A little bit, but nothing like I've seen with Gyökeres, bro.
Yeah, I have noticed the Gyökeres propaganda machine from Fabrizio, but he does that with every he does that. He'll pick a couple guys and he'll just he
knows it, like for better or for worse, like Greenwood generates clicks, right? So he knows what's going to generate.
He knows what's going to generate engagement and clicks for him at the end of the day. And right now, Gyökeres just happens to be that player. I think if Gyökeres was a Benfica player, he'd still do it. I don't think it's a vendetta against.
Yeah, no, he's just riding. It's just whatever.
Fabrizio Romano understands the hustle and he's playing the game.
Yeah.
So I get it. We'll see what happens come January. We're not too worried. Gyökeres has said in his most recent media availability, he's happy. He's very happy in Portugal. He doesn't really want to leave right now. So
I'm sure he's happy, but
I'm sure he also wouldn't mind the chance to play for a
salary.
Top
they're
team
probably more down to do some shit, right?
I mean, I'd be pretty happy if you moved to my salary.
Move to
fucking West Ham or Chelsea or something.
I mean, it's not. I mean, no offense to England, but I don't think there's really anywhere in the country that's probably better than Lisbon.
No, I like London aside.
So it's gonna be probably a downgrade. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless maybe it's London, right?
Yeah, unless you're
but then
a
you
London
probably
team.
have to play for Chelsea, which is fucked.
Yeah, like, does anyone want to play for Chelsea, like, with their, like,
I
38,000
say
man
this.
roster?
Actual last thing. Chelsea just hired Sacha Guptan, who is an NBA executive. He's actually one of my favorite NBA executives of all time.
All right.
He was the guy that came up with the process. It was Sam Hinkie was the GM and the main guy. He was the right hand man of Sam Hinkie. He was Sam Hinkie's numbers man.
He's the trust the process dude.
And then guess where he was working before? The Minnesota Timberwolves. Look at his body of work with the Wolves the last 3 years.
This guy
knows what the fuck he's doing.
To soccer is this guy.
I don't know if he knows anything about football, but he's gonna try.
We're gonna find. We're all about to find out.
Yeah.
That's such a Todd Bowley hire too.
Yeah,
such a Todd Bowley hire.
Yeah,
he was good in the NBA. He's got to be good here.
Exactly. It could just be like we're just bringing more bodies. It's just too many cooks in the kitchen, right? So it could just
too many cooks. What? They got enough. They've got enough cooks to open like 80,000 restaurants. They got so many cooks.
So I was the first Chelsea move in a while where I've been like, what are we up to here? But could just be nothing. We'll see.
We'll find out. We'll wait for the inevitable. Todd Bowley wants to buy Gyökeres for $100 million because he doesn't know what to do with his money anymore. Headline from
coming.
Fabrizio. Oh yeah, any day. It'll probably come today. We'll see that tweet when we go log off. All right. If nothing else, I think that wraps up our show for this week. Thank you all for listening. We'll be back next week with a review of the Avs game, probably a review of the PSV game as well. Follow us down below, mostly on X, Twitter, whatever the heck Elon wants to call it, until Mark Cuban buys them at AT Alvalade. Follow Chris down below at the Big Chris 69. Follow me right there down below as well. Richard_N7.
Sam and Danny up as well.
Yeah, don't forget to follow Sam and Danny too. Sam's on vacation, I think, to Greece or something this week.
Croatia.
That too. There's neighbors almost, kind of, not really.
Across the
kind of
sea, you know?
Balkan adjacent. And follow us obviously AT Alvalade. That's where we kind of post all of our news that we pick up, that we aggregate, kind of thing. Any updates from the show. If nothing else, thank you all for watching, and viva Sporting. Until the next time.